Welcome back to my studio. This is Christy Hartman. Today I'm going to be using a new stencil called Walter's Webbing. New to me, it's not new to pmartiststudio, but it is a great stencil. We're going to be using this stencil on a previous project that'll be coming up towards the end of October, so keep an eye out for it. I don't know if any of you realized, but I've been out of commission for the last couple months. I had total knee replacement surgery and I'm finally able to get back into my studio. I've been planning about getting back into my studio for a while, so during my recovery I seem to be shopping good sales on Jerry's Artorama and various other art supply stores, and I bought some new Lucas Krill paint colors, some new PBO paint colors, and some new golden fluid acrylic paint colors, and I'm going to play with them a little bit today on this long haul technique print where I'm building up various layers, and I'm going to use these prints, like I said, in a project in the upcoming future. Fast forwarding through a lot of this because I'm just trying to show you the various layers and the paint colors that I've used, and I'm sure you probably don't need to watch all of this, but fast forwarding makes it go pretty quickly. Here we go with the PBO. This is actually kind of a pearlescent iridescent paint, and it just prints beautifully, although I will say I'm not fond of the smell of it. So if you are highly sensitive to smells, you may want to consider that if you're going to buy it. It's not a terribly expensive paint, but it does print up really, really nicely. Using another golden fluid acrylic. Just developing all those layers that'll show when we pull the final print. Using a wooden baron that is fairly heavy and actually gets those paints down into those various layers. Now I'm using another fluid acrylic, Prussian blue I believe, or it's anthraquinone, I'm not sure. Now all these individual prints can be used as well as the final one that I'm going to show you. Now we're going to pull up the final print. I've removed the stencil. We're going to use Quin Nickel Azo Gold. We're going to use nickel Azo Yellow, and I added a little bit of orange just to kind of brighten the background up. I'm using one of my previous prints, and I'm going to print on the back of it. And once I pull this over, you'll be able to see what this print is going to look like, and it's actually beautiful. I was very happy with it. Here I am pulling up the print. I do decide that once I pull this print, I wanted to add some layers to the border, and I'm using this time open. And I'm going to go right over the top of that stencil once again, remove the stencil after I've brayered out my paint, and I'm going to use that same exact stencil to develop a border for this print. And this is actually a really easy technique that anyone can do to develop some additional texture and interesting pattern on the edges of your prints if you want your prints to go clear up to the edges of your paper. We recently had a conversation about this very thing in a Facebook group that I belong to, Makers of Mixed Media Art and Artists. Now you can see I got that blue a little bit over onto my print. I didn't want it, so I removed a lot of that with a baby wipe. And I'm very happy with the result. Then I'm going to use what's left over the top of that lighter print and get one more print. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.